What is up? At SEC After Dark. What's going on, guys? Stephen Willis, Jeb Beechum, and Jake dressed up as a wooden wall.
Yeah, he's wearing Alabama camouflage and maybe celebrating them updating the indoor facility with their SEC championship over Georgia. But they had to put something up, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. But yeah, Jake is. We hope Jake is okay. This weather system is moving through here, not only where he is, but Middle Tennessee as well. I don't know if you guys are affected by it. But if you are,
Jeb's up there by you.
Safe. Oh,
yep,
okay.
I'm up in Tennessee right now. So
yeah, Jeb's in
Jeb, okay. Jeb, you and I are going to be taking cover now. Steve is the only one in the palatial Central Florida studios.
Yes.
Is it still palatial?
Yes, it is still palatial. Today the maids came by, so it's actually clean.
No, there you go.
Uh,
The maids. Our show is so successful, Steve has got maids now.
well, yeah, obviously.
I haven't seen a cent, but we're good. You can send those maids up here if you want.
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, if I seem a little bit distracted, I'm watching the USA and Costa Rica.
FS1, right?
No, CBS Sports Network or Paramount Plus.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find it. If you see me looking over, it means I'm looking for it. Or, Steve, you can update us, actually. Huge victors, 5-0, right? Last
5-1. They gave up a goal in like the last 10 minutes. It was 5-1, but it made it to where Costa Rica had to win this game by 6 goals for it to become a situation where the U.S. didn't qualify.
Gotcha. Soccer? Yeah. So, anyway, like I said, we are SEC After Dark. We are brought to you by betonline.ag. We're finally here. The top teams in college basketball have been determined. The Final Four is set. Man, if you're looking to wager on these games or the national championship, head over to betonline.ag on your desktop or mobile device. Sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code Bleav. That's BLEAV to get started. And I say Bleav because on the audio side, we are on the Bleav Network. So, BetOnline remains your number one spot for all updated odds and info, along with player props and new contests throughout the year. It's the best source for all your sport wagering needs, including live betting and everyone's favorite Vegas casino and poker games. Super easy to get started, so join today. Learn why everyone is saying BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on sports. BetOnline, it's where the game starts. We got an action-packed show today. I got a little SEC baseball. Final Four, we'll talk about that a little bit. Some updates on the Will Smith situation. If we want to get into that, I don't know if that headline is tired at this point. If not, we can just smack that right off the show. And then Bruce Arians announced his retirement today in Tom Brady's latest power move for the NFL. Yeah. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And, of course, updates on, you guessed it, soccer. We hope we are your midweek break. We hope you're your midweek break, letting you know you're almost to Friday. So that's really good, Cassidy. We're glad we can provide that for you and for all of our listeners / viewers. It's like hanging out with your buddies at the bar.
Yeah, I don't know how Cassidy has internet, but Jake doesn't. I'm trying to figure that one out at the moment.
She was the first one to the phone. Sorry,
his net zero. Maybe he got a phone call. I don't know.
Yeah. She has a secret. She has a secret office that has the best internet that anyone ever has in the entire United States, and then she left him with the AOL account. She at least had the decency to run him a fax line so he could.
That's nice. So. That's really solid by Cassidy to be able to take care
Cassidy,
of him that
we
way.
Love you. We love you, Cassidy. The Final Four. Steve, how's your brackets doing?
Dead. Yeah, my final was Kentucky and Tennessee, so by Saturday I was ruined.
Yeah, I'd say so.
My overall champion pick is still in it, so that's the only team that I picked is still in it. But
who's your overall champion? Oh, Kansas? Okay.
Yeah. So
I can't. Kansas has screwed me so many times. I just can't pick them.
yeah, I don't blame you.
I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it.
I certainly wouldn't have picked
personal
Duke or
thing.
North Carolina.
It is a personal thing with me. Yeah, I wouldn't have picked. I almost picked. I picked Villanova to make the finals, but I picked them to lose to Baylor.
Yeah, I did too.
So somehow
I
I'm
just
still in really
can't
good
root
shape.
for-
In one of my
Can't root
pools.
for Kansas at all because they name it James Naismith Court. Basketball was invented in Massachusetts. I realize he
Not
probably
Kansas.
moved there. Yeah, it's not in Kansas. I mean, other than after the fact with James Naismith, it's kind of pretentious naming it after him. And there's that 30 for 30 with them trying to get the official rules of basketball in Kansas where they belong. No, the game was invented in Massachusetts. If anybody, if it belongs anywhere, it's UMass.
Yep, it's UMass and John Calipari. He actually invented basketball. If you didn't know, him and Marcus Camby were the pioneers of basketball.
What was that guard they had? Wasn't he from Puerto Rico? That year they went to the Final Four with Camby?
Oh yeah,
That
That's
guy
gonna
was.
bother me.
There was a stretch where you had that, and then you had like the Puerto Rican guards for Temple that were really good.
Yeah,
And there was a
Yeah.
stretch in the 90s where, like, you know, it was really freaking. Oh.
yeah. No, I
Sorry.
I hear you. Let's see. It's a great movie.
Hey, former associate producer Jake Thomas joins us in the chat.
Hey, there he is.
Uh huh.
It was Edgar. They were brothers. Edgar and Gideel Padilla.
There it is. I don't know why I remember that. That was back whenever we would go to school with a wire hanger, and we had the special needs room that wasn't being used in the afternoon, and we'd go in there and turn the TV on, put the wire hanger in there for the antenna, and watch the games on CBS because that's back when CBS basically picked which game it was going to show. But I mean, that's how we saw the Christian Leitner shot, doing that, and that was good times.
Yeah, they're from Toa Alta, Puerto Rico. Brothers. They're brothers.
See,
brothers.
Yeah. Never say I don't have useless information.
Oh, really?
You have plenty of that. Guess who's an assistant coach there? Bruiser Flint.
Bruiser Flint.
Yeah, he's currently at. He's been following Calipari around. He's like one of the top assistant coaches. But never gets a head job.
Got into an argument on Twitter whenever they made a point that Villanova. It's nice to see an inner city school make it to it. It's like Villanova's not an inner city school. They're outskirts at best. Temple's the inner city school in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
Yeah.
It just the inaccuracy just
Yeah, it's like saying Smyrna High School is inner city Nashville. Yeah.
Yep, not a chance.
Mm.
It's like comparing Smyrna and Pearl-Cohn as being for locations. Pearl-Cohn is inner city. Smyrna, nah. So, but yeah, Villanova, inner city Philly.
Yeah.
Then you have Kansas, they're inner city Wichita. And you have Duke, which is inner city Charlotte, and North Carolina, which is 2 blocks away, inner city Charlotte too. And you got 4 inner city schools playing against each other. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, like there's several miles to happen, but if Villanova is Philadelphia, this is your tie-in, Corey. It's West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
Well, maybe Villanova will slap Kansas right on out of the tournament. Smack!
Chris Rock's comedy tour is their tickets are selling for it all of a sudden.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Certainly the highest ratings. of
John
Oscars
might be
in a
onto
while.
something. Yeah, John might be onto something here. Vince McMahon is a brilliant guy.
Well, if you look at that slap, either Will Smith is the biggest bitch known to man, or that was a staged fake slap because he hit him with the end of his fingers. He just barely hit him with the fingertips. It wasn't even a full slap. It was almost like pulling his punches. And
yeah, because he probably had he probably had second thoughts when he went up there. He's like, I'm about to F up, but he couldn't stop himself.
Yeah, he laughed at the joke until his wife rolled her eyes at it.
I don't think he was trying to hurt him. I think he just went up there to make a point, but I don't think it was a good idea.
The Oscars asked him to leave, and Will Smith said no, because I didn't know that's how that worked.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Mr. Smith, we know you assaulted the host and brushed the stage, but could you please leave? If you want to, that is. Well, if you're not.
He had to win a Best Actor Oscar just a little while later, so they had to leave him around for that. They couldn't say
where's security?
They were giving the award to.
Why is Will Smith not getting tackled?
Yeah.
Maybe he was just method acting Richard Williams.
Probably caught them off guard too. They had no idea what was going on.
Whatever the case is, Vince McMahon's eyes just lit up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just terrible.
They got tired of the person that writes usually for the show, and they wanted to they hired some WWE writers to come in and produce the show. That's what happened.
Well, I'll tell you, they're lucky. Chris Rock was up there, and that wasn't Ricky Gervais. Because if it was Ricky Gervais, he would have just assassinated her. If she didn't leave with a complex, he would have failed.
Yeah, there's a lot of comedians that would have turned around at that point and got a lot harder. So I think Chris Rock handled it as well as you could at that point. But there's no reason Will Smith should. I love Will Smith. Don't get me wrong. I love it. There's no reason he should have got up and done that. He could have handled that so much better.
He could have just did the whoa, no. He could have done that
he was going up to give a speech a little while later. He could have said something about it and that, just make Chris Rock feel like a piece of trash. But no, now everybody's on Chris Rock's side. I think that backfired on him pretty bad. If that's
and he knows it. Oh, he knows it too. He knows
now
it.
Every joke's about his wife and the infidelity and all that stuff, and
it's all getting thrown in his face, man.
Yeah,
not a good look there.
This did not work for Will.
But it was a slap heard around the world for Chris Rock. Good for him.
Yeah, it's true. Although some people were mad at him, he did do a whole documentary on black women's hair, stuff like that, and then immediately turn around and make fun of it. That was pretty rough too. But
yeah, I'm not saying the joke was warranted. I mean,
it was.
I don't think he should have went there.
No,
it was a soft joke, but I don't think he really should have went there. Yeah. But he didn't deserve to get slapped over it.
When it comes to this, we've gotten soft, and it's that whole words is violence BS. No, sticks and stones is a thing, and that doesn't justify how you react to it. And that's what it took. He escalated that to a point where it had no business being. And I don't care if she has alopecia. I mean, if she went there and had her hair done up with G.I. Jane in public, in front of everybody, in a show that they are known for making fun of people, maybe go there expecting a G.I. Jane joke because it looked like she had a crew cut.
Yeah, and that is what they do there. This is the problem, though. Now,
it's called assumption of the risk.
Yeah. Our comedians going to have trouble making jokes because they don't know if they're going to be assaulted, and they're going to start toning it down. Because I'm going to tell you, the Oscars is already kind of hard to watch, and now if you take the jokes out of it, I'm not going to ever watch that crap again.
Yeah, I mean,
but at the same time, you can't have them just getting assaulted.
No,
anytime somebody gets mad.
I mean, I think if the joke is out of bounds, you handle it with words, and you handle it privately and say, hey, bro, I didn't like that joke, and he could have said, sorry, bud, and then moved on. And that could have been it. Like, you meet words with words.
Yeah.
Not words with fists.
Yeah, you don't escalate. And like I said, my favorite.
I would have been slapped, John. And Cody. Cody.
Let's see. What's his name? Jerry Seinfeld. There's a meme of him on Twitter, and it just says, it's like Jerry Seinfeld, what's the deal with airline food? And the next one, it's like American Airlines CEO comes on stage. You know?
Yeah. What's the deal with Delta? Why do we have to do the dog and pony show? What's the deal? And then Delta CEO goes, BAM! Not good look.
Well,
What's the deal? The food is terrible. George, what are we going to do? I got to work on my Seinfeld, don't I?
Yeah.
a little bit. A
Yeah.
little bit.
You get the point. You knew I was
Can't do
doing
it all,
Seinfeld.
so, yeah, true.
I'll get it polished. That was terrible.
I don't know. I still think you can have comedians. I know some of them make bad jokes. It doesn't always work out well. But I guarantee you Chris Rock would have got roasted for that if they had said something afterwards instead of just getting up there and assaulted him. Now, like I said, it's all on Will Smith.
Just
now.
re-roast
And I hate it
him.
'cause I
I
love Will
mean,
Yeah.
just re-roast him. Comedians take shots. And
Yeah.
not all
and,
shots.
and, and they're made for it. You know?
Yeah. But like you said, the Oscars is kind of like a mini roast anyway. If anybody was there, people get roasted all the time.
Yeah. Like I
don't
said,
understand why this
it's
was
assumption of the risk.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully we'll move past it soon, though. I'm kind of tired of seeing it.
Everything. There's a such thing as an appropriate joke. I mean, there's not a ton that's off limits, but you know,
As long as
I
they're
don't know.
funny.
You know, like going after kids is not really like.
Yeah. He didn't go
It's
after
kinda out of
infidelity or
bounds.
any of that weird stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Don't get too
Yeah.
personal.
Like digging way too personal is inappropriate in my mind
Yeah.
as a joke. Dave Chappelle's comedy concerts to protest him because all the jokes he makes. Yeah, I mean Dave Chappelle gets into some heavy topics, but he doesn't get personal, which that's a different thing.
Yeah. Which I never understood. I've watched his comedy. I don't understand how he comes off so anti-trans. I know he makes jokes, but to me they're always just jokes. They're never actually like.
I don't think
afraid
he's
of those people
anti
or
anything.
I don't think he is either. I think he just.
I don't
jokes
think he's
about whatever
anti
he-
anything.
I
He just jokes about how awkward it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's joking about. And
I think his whole bit right now is the fact that he doesn't really do anything. He just does just enough to get the outrage machine going and just watches it go. Because you assume that he said something wrong, but if you listen to it, you're like, he didn't really.
See,
no, he didn't.
that's what I'm saying.
He
When I watch it,
didn't.
I don't understand why people are going so insane about this, but it is
I
true. He
appreciate
makes fun of
Dave.
everyone, and
I appreciate Dave because he takes the risk.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
He tackles
definitely
some
not afraid.
topics that, yeah, he's not afraid. Which, I mean, if you go out of bounds occasionally, if you take big risk, you're going to get burned. It's going to happen. There's going to be people that don't like it, all that good stuff, and he understands that. That's why he does it.
Yeah.
But listening to some of his recent specials, it sounds like some of his jokes just turn into political rants, which I don't like because he's getting away from like what makes Dave Chappelle Dave Chappelle. That's what's happening with Saturday Night Live. Like everything just starts turning into a political rant and not really like having fun with it. Like presidents have been made fun of ever since Lorne Michaels said the word "go" back in 1979 or 78 or whenever they started.
When Gerald Ford fell down the stairs of the airplane.
Yeah,
And Chevy
Like, they've
Chase
been making,
became Gerald Ford. I mean, that was it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then so on and so forth. Dana Carvey's still one of my favorites. Doing
he's a
George
good George
Bush.
Bush. Yeah,
He's great, George Bush. Who's the guy that does? Who's the guy that does Bill Clinton?
Daryl Hammond.
yeah, that was.
Yeah, Daryl Hammond. Yeah, that's
Will Ferrell had a good
great.
George W. Bush.
Yeah, I mean, just so on and so forth. It's outstanding. It's hilarious because they have fun with it. It's not like mean spirited. They just have fun with it.
Yeah. No, and Dave Chappelle usually does used to do a real good job of staying away from the politics. Like his was just funny. But you're right. His last special, I know, it kind of got a little
Yeah.
heavy, a little fast.
Now, John, to answer your question, it's because everybody has a platform.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people probably did this stuff in the privacy of their own home. Now they have a
Yeah.
platform. So now you're just hearing about it. It's like stuff that on the 24-hour news cycle that you've never heard about before that you hear about now because it's available. It's just in the open now.
Yeah, the fact is the world has just changed. It's just social media and the internet has just changed the world.
It's a smaller world, and just people have the access and the platform to bitch and moan. And that's what they choose to do with it.
They're gone. Not
my cup of tea. If I don't like something, I'm going to change the channel. But you do you, I'll do me, and we'll go with that.
And you know what? It's just because everybody has to be pissed off about something. Everybody has to be outraged about whatever's going. People apparently like to be pissed off and outraged. I don't know what it is, but they're not just okay being happy anymore, and that's kind of on them. Realistically, that's kind of them problem. But that just
Farley is Newt Gingrich. That was a good one. Yeah.
This permeates your life, and it's all around you, and people just really show their butt. But that outrage machine is what this is on. For instance, everybody's all in about Colin Kaepernick is getting blackballed, And as we just saw from Deshaun Watson, if you're good enough, they'll deal with the headache. In the end, it comes down to talent, but it's going to be made political about every single issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I won't go down pathways that's going to start ticking off a lot of people who are listening to the show or anything. We start getting too political, but you're right. It's a problem now with I don't know how to explain it. I almost feel like it's almost a downside to America being as comfortable as it is to live in. Now we're just finding things to complain about and griping about, whining about.
First world problems.
People
manufacture fear, or anger, because otherwise, what are we doing? We're just going to work and enjoying life. They don't want that, because then we're just happy, complacent, not out there voting and spending money. So
yeah, if you want to turn it back into sports, people have to find a reason to hate somebody.
Yeah,
like somebody wins, oh, we got to hate them now.
Well, that's true.
Like you can't respectfully root against them. Like the Patriots. I'm not a Patriots fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I respect what they did. I enjoy rooting against them sometimes, just to see good football.
28-3.
I hate them for that, though. I do hate them for that.
No, but there used to be legitimate reasons. You're right. Like the Yankees, I hated them because they bought championships for so long. But it's not like the Patriots were doing that.
What?
They just got that great quarterback.
The Yankees
you should have shot A-Rod.
It was a biracial angel. No. The Yankees were doing
nice other guys reference. The Yankees, they didn't do anything wrong.
No, it wasn't illegal today.
I dislike the Mets more because they're a division rival with the Braves.
I hate the Mets. But
and the Phillies.
Division rivalry. That's
and the Nats. Actually, I kind of hate the Nats the most right now. They're division rivals.
And that's weird with them having disappeared for a while and just came back. But you're right; they've kind of taken over.
But sports hate is a different hate. But people just want to assume, like, oh, they cheated. Oh, they only won because their star receiver was out, or they only did this because of that. And they try to downplay everything. No, the Patriots won and overcame a 28-3 deficit because the Falcons choked it away, and the Patriots took advantage of it. And Tom Brady did what Tom Brady does. That's why they won.
In team sports right now, you can't lift your team up. Like we'll instead of doing political thing, we'll do it team sports. Yeah. You can't lift up your team up without tearing down the other team. There always has to be a whataboutism element of it. It's stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. But if you listen to my post-game pods that I did for the Tennessee game, Tennessee just came down to Oxford and just whipped some serious ass this past weekend.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
But if you listen to the post-game pod, my pod's talking about how good Tennessee was and how well they played. Not so much about how much we lost, but what about what's going on down in Starkville? Because that would be the argument that's going on. It's like, yeah, but what about Starkville? It might look bad for us, but how are they doing? No, Tennessee played really well and won the game. We have some holes in our team, and we need to get better. There's your post-game pod. Did that in over 3 videos over the weekend, and I think it turned out pretty well. Heck, I got more likes from Tennessee fans than you would think.
Well, you gotta I mean, the thing is, you got to give credit where credit's due. If you get your ass kicked, you just got to like. I played one-on-one basketball with this kid in PE class. I was talking so much trash. I was just trying to get in his head, see if he'd brick a few shots and give me some openings. And he's just like taller, longer, and swatted a few of my
you're
shots.
Like 5'7", buddy.
No, some dude told me I was 5'10" today, so I must have been standing a little taller. Must have grown a little bit. No, but yeah, I mean, I played basketball like a 5'8" center would.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't
That's
dribble
terrible.
or shoot a
Terrible.
Ter-
Terrible.
Like if you're taller than me, I can't play you in the post. So I mean, this kid just started raining threes. So I had to be like, nice job, you beat my ass. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something else.
Yeah.
But Tennessee does have a generational baseball program, I do believe. I think the way you beat them is to get the starters out of the game and get in the bullpen. But if you let those starters go 7 innings, you are screwed. Because they got a bunch of 97, 98 mile an hour fireballers, and it's kind of literally just impressive to look at.
I was very impressed with the starting pitching. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those
You
are
just gotta hope that
freshmen.
they're all.
Yeah.
My God, a freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just scary. Yeah,
It was like
I
kids
saw
like Chase
I saw
Burton.
some of those highlights. I was like, oh my God, Ole Miss is
Yeah.
like Ole Miss was run ruling people at the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden here comes Tennessee.
Tennessee's got Vanderbilt this weekend. If they sweep Vanderbilt, it's about just to assume that it's for real.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was assuming before this started. They had 6 games to tell us where they really were, and I love the way it started. So we'll see.
now Georgia's got some bullpen issues. They got to the bullpen in 2/3 of an inning against Kentucky on Sunday, in a series clincher, a rubber match, so to speak. Gave up a grand slam in the first innings. That set the tone for Sunday. It just was ugly. Starter lasted 2/3 of an inning before giving up a grand slam and getting pulled. And then Kentucky went on to win 18-5.
Oh, Ole Miss is up in
brutal
Lexington
series.
licking their wounds. But Georgia has a really good Friday guy, but I think they're pitching on Saturday and Sundays a little bit suspect at the moment.
It's their bullpen. Well, their Sunday starter was he had a horrible outing, and the bullpen just wasn't good either. Bullpen couldn't hold anything. They couldn't they had a chance to turn 2 and get out of an inning and possibly stop the bleeding and give themselves something positive. And the dude sails it into the dugout for, allowing the runner to advance, who eventually scored that inning. That extended their stay at the plate. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Georgia's got some bullpen issues to figure out.
One of the
For
most
sure.
impressive things about Tennessee in that game is they don't walk people. In college baseball, they just do not walk people. And they force you to play baseball and put it in play and do those simple things that you think about from back in the mid-'90s in the SEC. And they just don't beat themselves. You have to beat them. And they have some really good players on their team.
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah.
They're rock solid. We just talked about the starting rotation. Like that speaks for itself. But you look at what they bring to the table. I mean, it is. I mean, they got guys that come out of the bullpen throwing heat. You got starters that can go 7 throwing heat. You got hitters that put the ball in the gaps. You got defenders that they just keep it. They make you play situational baseball, and a lot of teams can't handle that.
Yeah, they got that reliever that has thrown a pitch 104 miles an hour this year.
Yeah. Did you see him try to throw an off-speed pitch though? He threw it to the backstop. He bounced it in.
Yeah, well, I did see what I wanted to see, and that was Tim Elko just turn around a 101 mile an hour fastball for a home run. So I did want to see that because that was the matchup I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Now, later in the year, our best fastball hitters are going to be back in the lineup. They weren't in the lineup this time, so their pitching looked good, and they're a really good team, but we weren't at our best. Heck, we've got Calvin Harris right now, came back last night, went 3 for 4. He's hitting 600 on the season, and he's actually had at bats. He might be in the might be JT snowing this at this point, but we'll see if he calms down.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
yes, to answer the question in chat, Tennessee is #1 in the nation right now.
And they deserve it because they
they
just
should be.
whooped the hell out of #1 in the nation. So they deserve it.
They do. They absolutely do. But like we
lost
said,
to Texas.
Tennessee's up in Lexington they're Ole Miss is in Lexington. Tennessee is on with Vanderbilt.
Who just lost to South Carolina. So
Is that in Nashville or in Knoxville?
I believe I'll look that up. I thought it was in Knoxville. I was in Knoxville. But
yeah, I
stand
think it's
by.
in Knoxville.
In Knoxville.
In our nice little stadium.
Yeah. Georgia had a bounce back win against Georgia Southern. That was good. They got a little mojo back. Got some bounce back performances and stuff like that.
Yeah. Ole Miss took out some frustration on North Alabama, beating them 20-3.
Nice.
They run ruled them. Yeah.
Nice.
But that's North Alabama. If they're Division I, I'd be surprised. They might be Division II.
Yeah. Well, whatever the case may be,
But
it was good to get that.
If Stacey is on here or Jake, did North Alabama beat Auburn or Alabama earlier this year?
I think they beat Auburn.
Yeah.
I don't think they beat Alabama. I think they beat Auburn. Yeah.
And also the soccer game is 0-0 at halftime, so Costa Rica having to get to 6. It's kind of problematic at the moment for them.
Feeling good about that one.
Yeah.
Why we talk about that communist kickball, boy?
Comic kickball.
By the way, Christian Pulisic is my new favorite all-time
Pulisic.
U.S. Pulisic. Yeah, I can never get that. You know me in names. Sorry, Christian. Yeah, he's so good I can't pronounce his name.
He scored that goal, and everybody kept saying he didn't mean to do that. That was accidental. And Christian Pulisic got on social media and was like, I did exactly what I wanted to do.
That was great.
Yeah, just because you can't do it, just because you can't pull something off like that, don't try and blame me.
Yeah. No, I meant that. And he said it so quickly too. That was what was great.
Yeah. He's like, what's going on, guys? But it was a beautiful goal. It was a beautiful goal.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
See, this is another thing with team sports talking about in America. If an American does something well, it's because of an accident. If a European does something well, it's because of skill. They can't cross for whatever reason. It's one of the things that really pisses me off and has caused me to kind of shrink from participating in their international soccer scene because honestly, it's just not worth it. There's some really stupid takes on there.
Yeah, I mean, international soccer is not immune to what we call hot takes. So, like I said, everyone has an opinion now, and not everybody's opinion is based out of fact or fair. Everybody's opinion is, Brock. Like I jumped in a Twitter thread yesterday about Brock Bowers, and they were PFF was comparing him to Kyle Pitts, and this guy was like, all this guy does is catch screens. I was like, yeah, and he houses them too. Like,
whenever they do that, I hate that because honestly, Kyle Pitts and Brock Bowers are two different types of players.
They are.
I mean, Kyle Pitts, say whatever you will, he's more of an Evan Ingram type player. Brock Bowers is actually in a tight end. He does the stuff that the tight end does.
Brock Bowers is more of a Gronk. He does Gronk things.
Yeah,
like he'll go up and moss you. He'll take a screen to the house, like 50+ yards.
But he'll also block his ass off.
Oh, he'll come down and knock your teeth down your head.
And Kyle Pitts, he was basically just a jumbo receiver. He was the Jimmy Graham of tight ends. That's what Kyle Pitts was at Florida.
Yeah, but they call him Little Screen Boy Call him Screen Boy. Because he catches screens.
John, that is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
But it honestly, in the last couple of years, just being an international soccer fan and watching what's going on, without all of that outside noise, that's pretty fantastic. Because I'm confident in my own opinion. I know what I'm looking at. So I don't need people to justify my takes, And yeah, it's nice to be able to just watch a game and not go on and have to. It's like, hey, I think we played pretty well. Let's go see if somebody else thinks we played pretty well. I know they played well.
Yeah,
regardless of result. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we played well. I know the reasons. I've been in competitive. If you play competitive sports, even as low as the varsity high school level, or even like competitive, leagues as competitive youth leagues, you understand the game and what goes into winning a game and what goes into scoring a goal, what goes into completing a 50-yard bomb, what goes into taking a screen 72 yards to the house. Mm-hmm. You understand all of that, and you don't, and you can do things like compare Kyle Pitts and Brock Bowers.
Yeah, and just because
and not tear down either one of them.
You might not know anybody from Adam, but they're going to come on and tell you they know exactly what they're talking about. No, don't take their word for it. They might not know what they're talking about. In fact, 9 times out of 10, they don't. And by the way, with Pro Football Focus, if Pro Football Focus did what they claim to do, they would have a staff of 7,000 people. I guarantee you they don't.
They don't. But the whole point of what we've been talking about is you can simultaneously praise Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts and and say these are 2 elite tight ends.
Yeah, you don't
for
have
different reasons.
You don't have to tear down one to build up another.
Yeah. Just because you like Brock Bowers better than Kyle Pitts doesn't mean Kyle Pitts sucks. It just means that, hey, he fits what we do really well.
And they probably brought that up because of the Georgia-Florida thing, and they wanted people to argue in the mentions because they're going to sit there and talk about how Brock Bowers is no good because you're a Florida fan. And stuff like that is stupid. Of course, I don't talk trash at all either. I'm not a trash talker. I've never been that way. So I don't have to worry about somebody talking trash to me because I don't do that. I don't play that game. I just enjoy the sports, what I'm seeing and what's going on without having to worry about what other people are doing. I mean, it's silly.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree there. I mean, that's, And what was funny is I jumped in another one. I don't usually do this, but I was just kind of Chris Collinsworth owns PFF. Well, he's asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
He does, but he's asleep at the wheel. I guarantee you, he like those stats are just so.
Yeah. Somebody says he's ranked the number 77 offensive tackle. Okay. Sure, whatever. It's like the Jennifer Lopez thing, like,
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence, yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, I don't even know what I was saying, but I got in this thing on Twitter. There was another guy that posted he says, now this is what's called setting the tone, and it was Major Wright in the national championship game in 2008 against Oklahoma, where he comes over and literally launches into the dude. And I just simply replied, yeah, setting the tone with an ejection on the first play. They wrote the targeting rule based on this clip.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Major Wright doing this. Like, I mean, he tucks his arms and throws his head. It is textbook targeting. And I'm like, that's why they wrote the rule. Yeah, and I got like several likes on it. Nobody debated me, so I thought it was a solid point.
Yeah. Pro Football Focus is the exact reason you don't just trust somebody's right because they tell you they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact right. I mean, if there's only 8 full-time employees and they're covering videos and doing ratings on every college football team and NFL team, you know something's up.
And most of the people that are doing this stuff are part-time guys that like it's their side hustle and they work on it for like an hour once every other week. But it also tells you that stats don't tell the whole story. You know, you can throw all these PFF stats out, but you know, it doesn't tell the whole story ever. Stats are a good jumping off point, maybe. It's a good piece to the puzzle, but it's not the puzzle. Context matters.
Yes.
It matters. It absolutely matters. Because like you have these stats and sometimes they're just inflated by playing Northern Arizona followed by Western Kentucky. You know, you throw for like 1 million yards against those two teams. And all of a sudden your PFF ranking goes way up. You know, it just the metrics only tell you so much.
Yeah, PFF, for whatever reason, I just have a pet peeve against them. And anybody that just claims to be an expert, but you don't even have a face with whoever is putting there, I don't trust it at all. But Chris Collinsworth getting that on Sunday Night Football, that's probably a smart move on his behalf.
Yeah. I mean, it's good business. I can't fault them for that. And I like Chris Collinsworth. He goes. I mean, he was a former NFL player. He knows what he's looking at. He goes. I really like his insight on NBC football. He does a good job of going in depth and preparing and all that stuff. And he does a good job. I wish PFF would reflect that, but he does a tremendous job.
Yeah, I like him just fine.
Costa Rica just scored 1-0. Game. Reminder, U.S. goes to the World Cup as long as they don't lose by 6 goals.
Yep. Todd Bowles is getting a 5-year contract as a head coach in Tampa, by the way.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he the coach of the Jets at one time?
Yeah, you can't judge him on that, though. This is Jets. It's the freaking Jets. The Jets are pitiful. A pitiful organization. Mike Tannenbaum was the guy that hired him, just so you know. And the one that was filling the roster up with his talent. I thought they played well at times, especially defensively. Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator. We'll see how good of a head coach he is in his second stop.
So
Buccaneers have.
Tired. Well, I guess just let.
I mean,
why did Tom Brady come back then? I guess he didn't really care that much about the head coach.
No, well, I think Tom Brady had something to do with this retirement. Retirement, because they had some friction.
He came back just to shake things up a bit, just to prove he could.
Maybe he just hated the phrase "no risk it, no biscuit."
Mm-hmm. He's like, here, take your biscuit and go upstairs. Yeah.
Just came in to swing his, what around a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's exactly what it was.
I don't understand why he don't retire and go home. Got a beautiful wife. Go home.
Yeah, go home. Yeah. But he doesn't want to.
No, apparently not. And he still plays well enough he doesn't have to. So.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. There you have it on that. It's pretty cool. Good. I'm happy for Todd Bowles. I think he deserves it. I think he's, he's been runner up in a lot of these searches.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. I mean, the NFC South, man, it transformed quite a bit.
Yeah,
you got Jameis versus the Red Rocket over there in New Orleans. Mariota time.
That quarterback competition extraordinaire.
Be epic. Sean Payton's like, I hope you guys enjoy that. Have fun with that. He's probably rolling his eyes. He's like, hey, glad I retired. Kevin James, you want it?
Yeah. Guess there will be a part 2 to that movie.
part 2, he's gonna be doing Corona commercials on the beach, like
Tony
John
Romo
Gruden and Tony Romo. And then what beer was it that Jimmy Johnson did on the beach right after he left the Cowboys?
was that Bud Light Lime?
I think
I
so.
don't remember.
Like Bud Light finally went away from their just normal basic Bud Light.
Bud Ice.
Remember the Bud Light versus Bud Ice in the Bud Bowl commercials?
Well, that was Budweiser versus Bud Light, buddy.
Well, they did Bud Ice too, I think, didn't they?
No,
Later
I think
on?
Bud Ice happened a little bit later.
That's what I'm saying. They did. It was like Bud Bowl 8 or something. They did like Bud Ice versus Budweiser or something like that.
I don't remember. I remember the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah. Was that on Hallmark?
I don't know.
That was a Kitten Bowl.
Oh, maybe it was.
I mean, some years that was probably better than the actual Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of good coaches, Jimmy Johnson, phenomenal coach, phenomenal TV personality too. Steve is just frozen.
Jimmy Johnson on TV, his second career with that was just a fantastic move on his behalf. I think Sean Payton has a chance to do the same thing.
Sean Payton would be great on TV.
Hmm.
His smug takes, you know. He has that
Yeah.
smug face. He has a very punchable face.
Yeah.
Well,
Sean
he
Payton does.
got that from all of the years owning the Falcons.
He got that with all the ass chewings he got from Bill Parcells in Dallas.
Oh yeah, and he was the offensive coordinator. Sean Payton, by the way, I don't know if you remember this. He was the offensive coordinator that Jim Fossil with the New York Giants just completely threw under the bus to basically save his job.
Yeah.
That before he went to Dallas, he was in New York doing that. But yeah, he's from that John Gruden school of just grind, man, just absolutely grind, and you know it shows. We'll see what the Saints look like in the future, but you know I like Dennis Allen. He's a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I do like Dennis Allen.
We'll see if he's, again, his second go around. His first go around was with the Raiders, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah, he was
see.
with the Saints, then he went to the Raiders, and then that didn't last, and he went back to the Saints.
Lasted a season, I think, before Al Davis quickly fired him.
He could have been like Lane Kiffin and tried a 74-yard field goal with Seabass.
I mean, that's not unreasonable with Seabass. Seabass probably took shots of vodka before he went out there, too. Yeah, I must hydrate. Then goes out and kicks a 86-yard bomb. Kills somebody in the stands.
Oh, Seabass.
He
The funny thing about Seabass doesn't happen if he doesn't, if Florida State doesn't go wide right, wide left, wide right. He was Bobby Bowden's answer to that.
Yeah, just kick the hell out of it. Do whatever you want. He's like, I own Poland. I am Sebastian Janikowski. I must break you. I don't know if he actually talks like Drago, but it sounds fun, right?
Makes sense.
Uh,
I've never heard Sebastian Janikowski actually talk.
Really?
So what if he has like a
Either.
what if he has like a Mike Tyson voice?
No, what if he's like Clubber Lang? Everybody thinks he's Ivan Drago, but he talks like Clubber Lang.
I pity the fool.
Pain.
Or he talks like, "Hey man, I'm just gonna rip your head off. All right, I'm gonna shove your umbilical cord down your throat." Huh? It's ubiquitous. He just starts using big words. Doesn't he really know what they mean because he's Polish? Yeah, we're off the rails.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Steve's watching soccer.
Steve.
Yeah. 2-0 Costa Rica.
We're gonna like make this a thing, aren't we?
Well, it's in the 60th minute, so they have to score 4 goals in 30 minutes.
Shit, I don't know. But
Slide it in 5-0.
Yeah, just let me know when it's 5-0, and I'll turn it on.
Yeah.
But Costa Rica is a history of beating the U.S. by 2 or 3 goals in qualifying. So this isn't a surprise. That's the reason that 6-goal pad was important.
Mm-hmm. It's in Costa Rica. They kick our ass down there.
Yeah.
It's just a weird stat that we just can't win in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Just whatever it is.
True home field advantage.
Yeah, and also whenever they play Costa Rica, most of the time they play them in the winter for whatever reason, or something to where it's not like a sauna like you expect, and it's 95 degrees and 100% humidity. And those guys play domestically mostly.
Yeah.
So
they know what's happening. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, for sure. Remember Sebastian talking to Holly Rowe, who's asking Sebastian something about Bobby Bowden disciplining him, and Janikowski doesn't seem very receptive to the question. It's because Bobby Bowden probably tried once to be like, "Dad gummit, Sebastian, you got to get in on curfew, Dad gummit." And Sebastian's like, "Yeah, F your curfew." In Poland, I was drinking at age 13. That's the legal age.
Oh, anything over in Europe, like in Italy, there's not really a drinking age because people don't binge drink over there. They just, you can have a beer at 18 if you want it. Now, their DUI percentage is 0.05 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like 2 beers is basically drunk driving.
Yeah.
But they never. It just doesn't seem like they ever like. I mean, I'm sure people do, but like just overall, it doesn't seem like they abuse it. They're just like, yeah, have a beer or two.
Yeah, whatever the culture, the American culture of it, it's a different ball game.
American culture is shotgun the keg.
Yeah, I went to Carnivale over there, which is basically Mardi Gras, and it was basically a very tame thing.
Yep. Now we're doing Oklahoma on the beach in Panama City.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you seen those clips?
No.
Yeah, they do Oklahoma 1-on-1 Oklahoma drill on the beach,
and hopefully they'll enjoy their concussion.
Girls do it too.
Yeah.
I watch it. I'm like, oh God. I'm glad this wasn't a thing when I was doing that. Drinking thing.
Of course, I don't really understand spring break. I even in college and high school and anything like that, I didn't go out and go do spring break. I just didn't go to school. I might go out and shoot some basketball. Shoot some basketball and watch the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament. That was my spring break.
I mean, I had fun on spring break, but I don't get all like it's MTV. And make it like they have, like, just has to be some like giant, like, I guess it's just because this is gonna sound very get off my lawn-ish, but I just don't like those type of things. Yeah. Do I like drinking on the beach and having fun? Absolutely. Do I like drinking by the pool, having fun and relaxing, going on vacation? Abso-freaking-lutely. Do I enjoy? Did I enjoy girls in tiny bikinis? Yes, I did. It was great, but I don't have to have the whole hoopla and like the Club La Vila scene that you go to where people are just
okay. No Panama City jokes, Corey. Come on.
I got to get them all in while I can.
You're gonna drop a Spinnakers reference next.
Actually, I was about to say Spinnakers. Go get a fishbowl at Spinnakers. I never went to Spinnakers though. I always drove by it, but I never went. Never went to La Vila either. or cruise the strip. I don't get the cruising the strip. People, that's the thing in Panama City. You cruise the strip, and you just like go. You just drive up and down. It's just like sitting in traffic, and blaring your music.
I never like doing
and
that.
yelling at people.
I do like to go out and drink a bit, but I don't understand the driving around and cruising.
Cruising the strip seemed like the worst, and cops knew it too. So they would just sit right there and bust you right open. Yeah. And then you would see like hundreds of people out on the beach the next morning, like 6 cleaning the beach in jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Like the most uncomfortable clothing of all time. They got them out there cleaning the beach.
I never liked the big club scenes either. Even though I do like to dance, I'm not a big club, or I did used to when I was younger. Not a big club scene person either. I like the hole in the wall bars though. I do like to go and sit and drink, hang out with people. Yeah. I just don't like the club scene. The club scene, everybody's like too good. You know, everybody's like everybody's too good to talk to you.
Yeah. Do you know who my dad is? No, I don't know who your dad is. I don't care.
Oh, you're not. You don't have 7 digits in your bank account? Yeah.
Yeah.
Back away.
That scene is mostly just there to impress people.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah, the club scene is just a whole another level of just want nothing to do with it. I went to a club, like my friend, like I wouldn't say my friends, but we all got convinced to go to a club one time because one of our friends is dating a girl that worked there, and so we're like, okay, we'll go. It may be cool. I don't know. I'm gonna have an open mind because 22, and we're gonna have some drinks and whatever. I'm gonna have an open mind about it. So we went, and it was the worst. You had to wait in line. Like, no one would talk to you unless you had a private table with bottle service, which is like $500 an hour or something like that. Wasn't into that. Was not into that.
No.
Like you go to a place called Opera. Like these one-word club names. Yeah, don't go to those. It's about as pretentious as it gets.
There was a place in Nashville that I used to really like called The Wheel, and that was because nobody went there. There's like always 3 people in the bar, but the music was pretty good, and the beer was fairly cheap. Yeah. And
the Wheel. You can't go to The Wheel anymore.
Yeah, it's closed down.
Yeah. I mean, even if it wasn't, it'd be packed now with bachelorette parties.
Yeah.
Which
downtown is crazy now.
They're fun to look at from a distance, but I have no interest in going to Broadway anymore. None whatsoever.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't either because I got out of there.
All right, Jeb, when we going? I'll meet you there.
I was gonna say, now that I'm in Nashville, I gotta do that real quick before I leave, just to remind myself what I'm missing.
You gotta go puke off the 6th floor balcony at Honky Tonk Central.
Not tonight though. Just a warning, because I've been hearing strange things outside. We're under tornado watches right now in this area, and it says over 3,500 people have already lost power in Nashville. So it's apparently getting to be a mess out there right now.
If our show abruptly ends, you know why.
Yeah, if I disappear, I'll let y'all know I'm okay. But
and we're just filming the sequel to Twister.
Yeah, I try and get as much on camera as I can.
They couldn't get Bill Paxton, so they got Jeb.
Oh, Bill Paxton.
Jake is playing the Philip Seymour Hoffman role.
I enjoy that movie, by the way. I don't know why.
It's great. It's great. It's so ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous storyline of all time. Yeah. These people literally go inside, like copies when they went inside of the tornado.
Yeah.
They're inside of the tornado. Like
it's a fun movie.
Like that, those pipes with an F5 are not gonna rip out of the ground. or it's not going to rip them through that leather strap that was holding them in. I mean, come on. I loved it, though.
Yeah.
Loved every minute of it. The banter between Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton's characters were great.
Game over, man. Game over.
That's all I could ever hear in his voice. God, I love it. And, you know, I just getting back to the chat done, John, I have heard that about Nashville with all the transplants and everything. I have not seen it, though, and I think it's just because I stick to my little usual hole-in-the-wall places. I don't.
John, I'm a transplant, but I don't have a man bun.
There's a lot of people from California coming out this direction, out Texas and Tennessee, but it's I don't know. I just never ran into them, so I don't know where they all go. I think I went to a bar once that was nothing but it was a mojito bar is what it was, but I hated it when sat in the car until the people I was with finally agreed to leave. So maybe they were in there.
The only people moving down here besides me and Jeb are people with truck nuts.
Yeah.
Steve, look at your truck nuts.
We definitely found the redneck area of Florida.
Yeah, they're
not in that
seriously
North Florida part where you expect it to be anyway.
There was like an F-350 going down the road with a sticker on the back that said "It won't suck itself" on the back window. It was like,
so classy.
Florida man, just like doing it. And these people driving around in F-350s are all bitching about gas prices.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. Diesel, too.
You don't see him driving as much right now, but.
But, I mean, you did go inland North Florida.
Well, and that was the point.
Middle, yes.
Yeah. I didn't want to live on the coastline because of hurricanes, but I wanted to be close enough to get there so I can get to Tampa or Orlando in under an hour.
Yeah. But we're not up, Gainesville or something where you might as well be living in Georgia or Alabama or something anyway. At least
you don't want to live
Florida.
in Gainesville anyway.
Oh, God, no.
South of I-4 is not the South. We no longer live in the South.
Yeah, that's the thing. We moved out of...
I-4 is kind of the southern boundary, yeah.
Naples might as well be New York City, Junior.
I'm going to have to get over there and check that out.
Naples is nice, though.
I haven't been over there yet.
It's a nice little town.
No, I got down there and was sequestered a little bit because of the whole COVID stuff, but that's all behind us, I hope. So when I get back down there, I plan to go exploring.
COVID is not gone, but it's not like...
As long as we don't get another wave of that crap.
It's another... It's just it has turned into another seasonal...
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
It just comes and goes. You just get it, and you get rid of it, and you treat it, and you move on.
Yeah, and there's a vaccine for it. So you just go to get your flu shot and you get your COVID shot and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say, I already get flu shots anyway. So.
Yeah.
You get your cootie shot, though?
In Florida, I will.
You got to. That's called penicillin.
Yeah. We don't want to turn into Florida, man.
Florida man. I see Steve.
Yeah.
His mugshot's like this. He's doing the.
And also in Florida, no helmet law for motorcycles.
It's called natural selection.
Yeah, it's exactly what it's called.
I love it. Ron DeSantis, you are my hero.
If he dies, he dies.
That's his choice. You don't want to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
We got another job. We're creating jobs here. There's got to be somebody who's got to scoop up the brains on the highway.
Great callback.
I love that. Always found south of Tallahassee to be not the South. Too many Yankees. South of Tallahassee is the ocean.
No, that's not
no. South of Tallahassee is Gainesville, and Gainesville, if you've ever been there, that's definitely
east.
the South. Huh?
East.
No, that's
east.
South. Florida is South. Yeah.
Well, the Tallahassee's on a panhandle, though. You got to go this way first.
Yeah, but you don't have to go like an hour, but it's south of that. But in the panhandle, like I-4, like Orlando's not the South, Tampa's not the South. Kind of I-4 is that border.
Yeah, because I-10 is definitely the South.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you're in the Panhandle of Florida, you might as well be in Lower Alabama.
Yeah.
L.A. Home of the Heisman Trophy winner Forrest Gump.
Which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with. I'm just saying I wouldn't have moved from Tennessee there because what's the point? Like going all the way down to South Florida. Well,
oh, Gainesville's on I-75. It's not on I-10. You have to go south of I-10.
You hit I-10 and then go south like
At Lake City.
30 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hit Lake City and go south because Lake City meets I-10.
And then about 30 miles
Yeah,
south of Orlando is Ocala, and then the turnpike hits, and you're officially in Central Florida. But
And
they've
then
got
you
that
go-
swamp in Gainesville. They literally have a swamp in Gainesville that has watch out for poisonous snake signs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, no. Gainesville's that place that you were warned about.
It had to be snakes. It had to be snakes.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, Tallahassee is.
you're right. It is over on the Panhandle.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember where Tallahassee was.
It's like in between Panama City and Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Between Pensacola and Jacksonville, just right in the middle of the Panhandle.
Pensacola
Jacksonville's
is.
on one side, Pensacola's on the
Pensacola is almost.
Pensacola's
almost in
destined.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Pensacola's the like the tip of Florida one way. Jacksonville's on the Atlantic the other way.
Yeah.
When I drive
Like
home,
Like you got Pensacola, and then you hit a 5-iron, and you're in Gulf Shores.
Yeah.
when I drive home from here, it's like a 12-hour drive, and 10 of them are in the state of Florida.
Seriously, it took me 14 hours to get home last time, and it should have been about a 9 to 10 hour drive. 14 hours, and all of that was because of Florida. As soon as I hit Georgia, smooth sailing, no problems.
Well,
But Florida
usually,
did
it's,
not want to let me go.
usually it's like the Macon area too, like between Macon and Cordele, and
And it slowed down a tad bit there, but not much. We were on. It was a Saturday afternoon. There just wasn't much going on that day. But
I always hit traffic in Tampa, and then a little bit in Ocala, and then it's usually smooth sailing from there.
Yeah.
there was some weird pileup on the interstate. The interstate was just shut down when I was trying to go through.
Well, tornado just went through, Jeb.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We've been getting tornado warnings the whole time we were driving, and then
Yeah.
I saw them. They were just shoving like pieces of a tractor trailer off the side of the road into a little ditch, so we could just drive by. It was I don't know what happened, but it was bad.
He said, "Oh, screw your warning. I got to make this delivery."
Yeah, he did not make it.
That tornado said,
Yeah, y'all missed it by like 30 minutes. But let this be a lesson. If you would have got up at 5 and hit the road, you would have missed all of that.
That's true.
And it would have
But-
probably been an 11-hour drive.
But it had snowed that night in Nashville, so we were trying to go a little later, so the snow would all be gone by the time we got up there. And yeah, it bit us pretty bad. We should not have done that.
"Yeah,
So we learned. I'll get up early on the way home.
when you going back to Florida?"
The 16th, I believe, April. So I got a couple more weeks up here.
There you go.
Got to see,
Smyrna.
got to see several of my friends. Got to see my family. So I'm accomplishing everything I want to. Oh, my taxes are almost done. I'm just waiting for the accountant to get done so I go sign.
Oh my!
So I've done everything I come up here to do.
There you go.
And got my mama moved to Arkansas.
Your mom's moving to Arkansas, and you're moving to Florida.
Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah,
already
I'm-
moved to Florida.
And she's
Well-
keeping her house in Tennessee, so I still
He
have the
hadn't-
house here.
well, he's doing renovations, so he's not moved yet.
Oh no, I did the air conditioning. I replaced all of it right before I left, and I think that was pretty much the last thing I'm gonna do for a while. So, it is ready to go. As soon as I got the whole house ready, I left. But I'm gonna go back. And
He's like, "I'm
hopefully-
gonna move back to Tennessee for a few weeks."
Yeah. Yeah. Now that it's all working nicely.
You know
it's
the
good.
weather because
Wow.
the weather's really good up here.
Yeah. Well.
Oh,
Cold and windy for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
One
good
of those
grief. Y'all's weather this year has just been terrible.
Of course, I left I left for Naples and it snowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That was great.
That's when I drove
Great
up there.
timing.
So Naples is pretty far south. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean it's
it's the southernmost Gulf town.
yeah. Unless you consider Marco Island a town.
Yeah.
But like where 75 turns left
Yeah,
across the state?
just has a hard left turn. You're right.
Yeah, that's where Naples is.
Wow. Yeah, definitely have to go down there and check that out.
It's nice. It is nice. There's a place called USS Nemo. It's expensive, but the best Chilean sea bass I've ever had.
Oh, I'll try that.
Miso broiled sea bass.
The hard part is finding it, right?
Finding Nemo. You just gotta ask Dory. You gotta ask Dory.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
All right.
You want to wrap this shindig up?
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah.
say, I'm gonna get off before the tornado hits my house.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's complete the show before it completes us. All right. We are SEC After Dark, talking about athletic greens. I'll put that in later.
Nice.
I'll go back and record that. If you've made it this far, you've already heard my brilliant ad about athletic grid. I got to make my order. So we are SEC After Dark. If you want to know what we're all about, we're just, usually four guys just having fun. It's just like you hanging out with your friends and shooting the shit at the bar or at the restaurant. Not too crowded. And that's what we do. That's the perspective we bring. We bring a unique perspective. Steve, you and I have been on the inside of college football programs. Steve is from the Manning Center. He finally discovered shirts. Coach O, after he left Coach O, he discovered shirts.
Yeah, I had to rip about 2 or 3 off, but
Yeah.
Finally Coach O was gone, and I was able to keep my shirts. Finally.
Yeah. So Steve kept his shirt on. That's good. It was a learned skill. I mean, first day I met him at Rivals, he ripped his shirt off and stood on his desk to welcome me. Flexed.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but
I was like, "You don't want none," and he's like, "Whoa, this is a Wendy's."
Oh, bro. Hold up, man. I'm still waking up. I got my producer's junk in my face, and I got you ripping your shirt off. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about right. So, but no, we have fun here. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we do bring good perspectives. So we do have serious conversations. But we also like to have fun. Like I said, it's just like you're hanging out with your friends. That's what we do. That's who we are. We are SEC After Dark. We're supposed to be fun. We're supposed to be light. We're supposed to, that's how it's supposed to go. There's too many stuffy shows. We're not journalists. We're entertainers. We're opinion givers. I didn't know how else to say that, but we're here to entertain you, to distract you from all the other hate going on. You can just come here and just relax and say, okay, I don't have to hate anything for the next however long we're on, which varies. And it can, because there's no network telling us how long we have to be on. So
exactly, we can go for as long as
Rage Against the Machine. So, but you can find us. Hit that bell notification on YouTube. Y'all's Conference Network on YouTube. You can also get to it from Bleav In Georgia Dawgs on YouTube. Find Steve Locked On Ole Miss. Jake Thomas, Best of the West. Tide Talk Sports. You can find me also Beast of the East. We just had a show Monday. We had some fun. Before we go, some dude asked me, and John can back this up. And Vinny took a screenshot of the question, but they asked me based on the Will Smith slap, if my opinion on black people has changed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
They addressed me specifically and asked that question. And they told Israel that he looked like a prison sentence waiting to happen.
Oh Lord.
Jesus.
Same person.
We need to talk about your audience. Good grief. What kind of people are you attracting?
Got to talk to Vinny about that. No. Yeah. It was instead of the Russian bots, it was that guy.
Yeah.
Or person. Or whoever
He's probably a St. Peter's grab, right?
Probably so. They were just mad. And but they left Vinny alone. That was the crazy part. But yeah, I thought I was like, what kind of question is that? So yeah.
Yeah, really.
Um,
That.
yeah, but luckily we didn't get any of the stuff that we got last week, the Hitler stuff.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was extremely weird.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, missed some fun there.
Well, we might have got it. He's muted on the chat.
Oh.
Well, they come in with they just create different usernames is what they do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, we have fun. We deal with stuff like that. But we also enjoy our regular guests like John and Cody, wherever Cody's been, Cassidy, Stacey, the whole crew of our regular people. I guess Benny looked like the guy that works at Wingstop who always hooks you up with free sauce.
Can't be mad at that.
I mean, you're not wrong. No, I love Vinny. So, but we are SEC After Dark. You should find us. And find us on our other shows. Illegal Motion. The next time we've had one live stream so far. We're more of a seasonal show at this moment, but that's going to change soon. But we are a seasonal show. We do most of our stuff during college football season. We'll come on with a pod every once in a while, but Illegal Motion, that's going to be live streamed from this point forward as well. So that's where you can find me again. Steve, one last update. Where we at?
2-0 in the 86th minute. So it looks like the U.S. is on their way to the World Cup.
All right. Looking good. Okay, so we can rest easy on that. For Steve, for Jeb, and for Jake dressed up as a wooden panel, we are SEC After Dark. We hope you have a great rest of your week. If you're in the line of these storms, stay safe. Jeb talking to you, and we'll see you back here next week. Goodbye.